Now the margin is 5. Final quarter in Test 2, the Constellation Cup. New Zealand lead the series 1-0.
Souness has certainly injected a bit of speed down this attack end, hasn't she? She's got a good quick release. And there we see Bailey Mears. He just needs to split those legs a little bit more, get herself a little bit closer to that goalpost.
Oh, Bruce again.
There's that lovely held ball.
This continues where she left off. Courtney Bruce has been a standout today and earns a held ball.
Definitely earned her position in that goalkeeper spot, saying, I am currently the #1 here for Australia, and has had an absolute ripper as Gretel Tippett takes a well-known dive.
And Tippett didn't miss a shot in the first half. Set out the third quarter, excuse me.
It's interesting when you take a player off and bring them back on, because they get a little bit out of the groove. You can get a bit of a rest, but I don't know, not driving straight onto the ball there as another held ball comes.
Well, you just get a different perspective, don't you, sitting on the bench. See things that you don't perhaps see on the court.
Ferns having to go a long way back. And now Langman charging them forward. Direct into Folau this time.
Keeper, get it sided away.
Mez doing a great job opening the space for Folau there. She's separating the defenders, which is all that she needs to do.
Oh, a break from Souness.
Oh, coach killer.
She'll need to just hang off that line a bit more.
I think the bonus of having Gretel Tippett in that front line is that she can just get those high balls where other players need to come forward for them, and it's almost a get out of jail free pass, but one I'm sure the Aussies are more than happy to take.
You can see Phillip, she's doing all the work. She's passing and cutting and shooting. 5 from 5, yet to miss a goal. Tegan Phillip.
Australia. Oh, great re-attack.
Here's Tippett again. This time doing the work outside the circle for Phillip once more. And off the legs.
Unlucky.
Pass outside, yes.
I'm sure that's one rule that defenders would like to get rid of, off the leg.
Well, she's in the right place at the right time, wasn't she?
Contact goal defence in the goal. Goal third. First move.
So the work all for New Zealand to do. They clawed back a big margin in that third quarter. Got out to 10. Folau from a long way out.
Collects her own rebound and sinks it. The fans are on the edge of their seat in this stadium right now, urging on their Kiwis.
Good hands from Watson to hold on to that one. Phillip again having a very big role play as the playmaker down this end, and now she finds the connection with Tippett.
We need to watch stepping in, Tippett.
Her first miss of the match.
Yeah, that was great hustle from Watson. And good choice of pass from Watson. Sometimes the Ferns just need to look over the mess and get a bit more length in their passes, bringing the ball down court.
Just get out of there. There's no point hanging around if it takes 10 passes.
So Cloud pulled out of the circle, leaves a 2-on-1 for Bruce. And as good as she's been tonight, can't deal with that.
And that's the second time in a row for Flower. She really needs to make sure she stays in play. You can't leave it 2-on-1. Not against the Silver Ferns.
This time it's Folau for Mears. Great hands, Mears, and the balance as well.
They've got a great connection, Folau and Mears. Of course, they've played together a lot in the Auckland Mystics.
New Zealand trim the lead to 4. Price.
Yes, wing defense. Centre third.
Katrina Aurora, you always look surprised when it's her. She's done well to cut that off again.
This is better ball movement. Oh, I think that was a bit, even I'm saying that was a bit unlucky for Berger there. She was in front, with 2 hands on it, but it's always tough when you've got a tall person in right behind you.
Oh no, that was certainly a Tippett ball, that one.
Diamonds just needing to step up their defensive pressure. As I say that, Courtney Bruce comes through. It's just getting too easily into the goal circle, ladies. I'd just like to see a few more passes. Maybe not one like that.
And straight to theirs under the post.
Very smart from the one and only Folau.
Less than 10 minutes to play at Spark Arena in Auckland. Australia have kept New Zealand at arm's length for the bulk of this match. Osberger flies at that, and it's left Watson all alone with a 2-on-1 in the circle, and Australia make the most of it.
Well, that's what the Ferns have got to keep doing. They've got to keep backing themselves and punching for the ball as we see another change. Laura Sherian back on the court at wing attack.
She's replaced Paige Hadley. Langman one way, then the other. And gets it again, the New Zealand captain in her 161st test. There's Folau. And it's a huge shot for Folau, in and out, and Clow up for the rebound.
Clow did very well to box out Mez there. We know how good she is with the rebounding Mez. Clow got in there, got underneath her.
There's Clow again helping out on attack. Watson seen that one as Watson goes flying. Liz Watson, that is.
That was very lucky for the Diamonds, and a great rebound from Gretel Tibbett. There are bodies flying everywhere out here. It is unbelievable. We've still got over 8.5 minutes to go.
I think we need to keep the lollies away from Shani. She's getting quite excited. She doesn't need any more sugar.
No more lollies for me.
Sherian. Oh, Berger. Absolutely robbed them there. And a good transition from New Zealand. This time Australia hustling back in defence. Shutting down the shooters again, so Langman has to go back to that transverse line once more.
The Aussie defenders doubling up on Folau there, knowing Mez is doing a bucket load of work, but still only shot 2 from 2, wanting that ball to go into Maria Folau, and the defenders would know that, which is why that they would try and double team her.
Yeah, she's certainly got a range, hasn't she, Mez? We know she doesn't like to shoot the long ones.
Oh, Langman let that run and was just quick enough to keep up with it.
Oh, great hands, Courtney Bruce.
Time and again, she's won ball back for Australia. Courtney Bruce.
Ninth deflection.
5 intercepts. Not a bad day out.
Australia just patient, building towards the circle.
Great work here from Gretel Tibbett, not forcing any passes, doing the work around the goal circle, and you can just see how strong her body is. Jane Watson is also so strong. Here's the tip again from Courtney Bruce, gaining that intercept back for her team right when they needed it.
Every time New Zealand try to claw back, Australia answers the question.
And to be fair, it's probably a question that a lot of people have been asking of them from the last couple of games that they've had.
There's not many of them in the stadium, but they're pleased at the moment, the Australian fans. As Langman once more has to look back, and this defensive squeeze comes again from the Diamonds.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd. They want Mez to shoot.
Contact, goal defence.
And Folau shooting like that, the Ferns need to get the ball to their best, most accurate shooter.
Fill it up over the top.
What a drive from Tippett. Had Berger on her back.
Time, goal defence.
Quick play from the Diamonds, and Jo Weston comes back on for Sarah Clow, and she will be raring to go.
Rory and Souness. Mez pops out. Here is Weston back on court. And all over Mez.
Contact, goal defence.
Now those little pop passes that we're used to seeing between Folau and Mez, they haven't done it so much since Mez has been on the court, such as the pressure and intensity that they're putting on Mez in that circle.
Weston getting herself back into the game.
New Zealand needs some turnover ball now at the 6-goal lead in Australia's favour. Tippett has been strong, coming back onto court in the fourth quarter.
I'm loving watching this fight between Liz Watson and Laura Langman at the moment. If you keep an eye on them, they are just running laps around the court. Each of them working so hard.
Great balance from Berger to get that to Langman.
And how lucky are we to have this bird's eye view of the court to see how important it is to open up. Folau's #1 move.
Shot rolls out, Mez keeps it in.
Again, Courtney Bruce strong on the rebounds.
It was Bruce. I thought it might have come off Bruce's hand in the end, but she's just been so good tonight. Everything she's touched has been excellent.
Yep. On attack, that one-arm bullet pass into the middle third.
Great patience from Liz Watson, waiting for it, but Berger again! I'm going to start calling her the thief. She's stolen so many balls tonight.
Wing defence contact.
But they need it with only less than 4 minutes to go. You can turn a game of netball around very quickly, but you do not want to wait until the last minute.
Sooners trying to find a route in. It's there for Langman and holds it up, goes into Mez. And just overcooks it too much on the shot.
Centre contact. Up with me, up with me.
Just her third attempt. Oh, and Langman looks to be in a lot of pain on that right hand. So Australia just need to close this out now. 6 goals in it. Just taking their time, aren't they? Good patience. Oh, and #1 falls for Berger.
The Berger's got it. There's a fine line between wanting to play the ball around, but then not so much that you lose it at the same time. But great patience there from Tegan Phillip.
A really good steadying influence, hasn't she?
Obstructing around your player, wing defence, goal third, yes.
See the urgency from Langman. She's wanting to pick up those penalties quickly and get going, as we see another long shot from Mez. Missed her last 2.
Great blocking out in the circle from the defenders. Bruce with the ball.
Interestingly, you look at the overall attempts at goal. New Zealand have still got 2 more attempts than the Diamonds, but they're sitting on 90% with their accuracy, so massive difference in shooting stats here tonight.
A lovely feed that time from Sherian to Phillip. And now Australia looking on course, and Lisa Alexander's 100th test as Australian coach, the most of any Australian Diamonds coach. They're going to stop a run of wins New Zealand's way as Watson snaffles a little bit more ball towards the end. As per usual, Jane Watson hasn't stopped.
Yes, goal defence.
Been a much more solid performance tonight from the Diamonds. I thought they all played really hard in the first test, but not so much as a team. So tonight, just, that showing of being able to bring players on and off and not have it make a huge difference like it did the other night, I think has been a real big difference for them. And Courtney Bruce, who was just on screen, I think was been the main contributor to the Diamonds being in the lead by 8 at this point in time.
Obstruction centre.
Thrown away. New Zealand have...
Yeah, nice feed, Folau into Mez.
To the offside, wing defence. Obstruction, goal defence.
Folau in and out as well. Down to a minute to play.
Contact.
New Zealand shooting percentage dropping.
Obstruction, goal shooter.
And now Australia, I think it's the signs of just a few very tired players. It's been a torrid test match, as you would expect.
Definitely one of the most intense international games I've seen in a long time. From the very start, just going so hard at it. Players That's why they've all been coming on and off from both teams, just because of the exhaustion levels will be super high.
Drop the arm, outside, outside. Oh, just don't know how to play goalkeeper.
And New Zealand finishing strongly, but it's been too little too late. Australia have just held them at bay all night, really. Oh, has thrown herself about quite literally. And the Australian Diamonds will level the series. This 4-match Constellation Cup is all square, and it's Australia 48, New Zealand 42. A pulsating match in front of a big crowd, and Australia has risen to the occasion to square this Constellation Cup.
Well, they had everything that we expect from a test match between these two nations. It was physical, the pressure was there for every single ball. A much more cohesive Diamonds team taking to the court here tonight. They had their connections, outstanding defensive pressure led by Courtney Bruce at the back. She finished the game with several deflections, 9 deflections after 60 minutes of netball. Both coaches managing to get a few players out on court, which is good to see. And the Diamonds, they'll be happy with that one. 48-42.
Laura Langman with the words for her team. As we see these full-time stats.
Well, there you have it. Turnovers pretty high for the Diamonds, as were the penalties. But the glaringly obvious one is one down the bottom. 91% for the shooting stats for the Australian Diamonds compared to the Ferns 74. If you want to beat the Diamonds, you've got to be in the 80s. You can see there both Folau and Ekanasio finished 76-73. Mears won't be happy on 3 from 5, finishing on 60. Strong performance by Tippett. She had a stint on the bench, came back on and finished on 96%.
Well, let's go down and hear from Australia's captain. Caitlin Bassett is now with the Dean Wilson.
Congratulations on the win, Caitlin. What was the difference tonight?
I think it was just our intensity. We picked up so much more ball in our defensive end, and I think we were really patient about working it through into our attack and finally getting those goals we needed on the board.
How important was it to break the run of the Kiwis? I know it only been 2 in a row, but just for that psychology point of view.
Yeah, look, I think it was the crowd for us. We knew we'd have to beat them in that first quarter to really start to quiet them down, and I've almost lost my voice that last quarter. I was up and about cheering, and I'm just so proud about what we put out there, but even better, I know that we can give more.
How important also was the influence of Bruce, that she's picking up the ball? How does that lift the rest of the side?
I think we're seeing Courtney Bruce of old. She had a couple of injuries in SSN, and getting her confidence back now and getting outside the circle and picking up that ball is what we need her to do.
It certainly seemed pretty wild and woolly out there at times. Did it feel pretty intense, pretty much on the body every ball you took?
I think that's what it's always like when we play the Ferns. The intensity always goes up that next level, and I guess our incentive to win for Lisa's 100th was there in the background for us as well.
Well, congratulations on the win. We can't wait for the 3rd in just a few days' time.
Thanks. See you in Sydney.